you guys, it's Toya and thank you for watching ToyaJTV. Today I am about to shampoo my hair and against my better judgment and my dislike of curls, I'm doing curls. I really just do curls simply because I like to give people a lot of options or show people with relaxed hair that you have plenty of options on how to wear your hair. You can wear it curly, you can wear it straight, you can wear a roller set, you can wear it any style that you want. And this is just one of those things. So I'm gonna start off. As you can see, my hair is just up in a bun. I just put it up like this because I knew I was about to shampoo it and I needed to run somewhere. So I just kind of put it up. But anyway, I'm going to take you step by step through the process this time, tell you exactly what I'm using and why I'm using it. So first, let me go ahead and just take my hair down. And when I had this bun up, I did add a little bit of braid hair. And anytime I do a bun, I always like to add a little bit of braid hair because it helps to protect the ends. So this is how much braid hair I had. This is really not a lot. Normally when I'm doing I kind of like my buns a little bit fuller. So I normally do like a piece of hair double this size, but this is just like one of the pieces that comes, in the full thing of braided hair. You can get a full thing for like $2. And this is just like a tiny piece of, the full thing. But again, I like to, when I do a bun like that, I like to put the braid hair in because again, it helps to protect my ends. And if you are wanting to see more length, then you need to focus on protecting your ends. So what I do is I wrap the braid hair, I put my hair in a ponytail, then I wrap the braid hair around the ponytail, and then I start wrapping this around the braid hair. And as I'm wrapping, then I use the braid hair to tuck my real hair in, and I just wrap the braid hair around, and that secures my ends, and then I just put a pin in it. It's real simple. But the more hair you use, like if you want a larger bun, the more hair you use, the more difficult it is to get it up if you are not used to handling a whole bunch of hair like that. Also, the smaller buns, they look a little bit more realistic, especially if your hair is just like normal density or kind of fine density. It just looks a little bit more normal. But, a little bit more realistic. But anywho, so my hair is down. And we can do a quick ends check just to see. It's only been about, I don't even think it's been 3 weeks. It may have been 3 weeks. I think I've shampooed 3 times. I'll double check that. But I did get my ends. Actually, I got my hair cut because I wanted some layers. But yeah, my ends are still looking just fine. And one quick way to tell if you need a trim, you should be able to hold your hair up from any angle and it should still be even. If it's pretty even, no matter which way you hold your hair up, see if I hold it this way, see how it's, even. If I hold it straight up, even. And then if I go over to the side, and that's just the top. And once your ends start splitting, it'll start, when you hold your hair up like that, it'll start looking really frizzy towards the ends, or it'll start looking kind of thin because anytime the hair splits into two, it looks much thinner. So if you're seeing that your hair is very thick from the root all the way down, and then like right on the ends, it starts looking kind of like thin, that's great right there. Then that's how you know it's time for a trim. And you want to trim it, I recommend trimming at least every 3 months. But I need to do another video for that because it depends. Your trim schedule depends on what you are doing to your hair. But if you're doing everything correct to your hair, you can go 3-4 months without a trim and be just fine. But if you don't have the best hair care plan, then you need to get a trim like monthly. But if you're getting a trim monthly, then you're probably not feeling like your hair is growing, but it is. But you're just having to cut everything off that you grow because your hair routine is not very healthy. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and shampoo. Step one is I'm going to start with the Extreme Clean shampoo. I always like to start with the Extreme Clean shampoo because it simply cleanses my hair very thoroughly. It's sulfate free. It's a very deep cleansing shampoo, and it removes all dirt, all residue, all product buildup. Anything that's on my hair that does not need to be there, it's going to clean that off and let me start with a squeaky clean slate. So that's step one. That's what I'm going to do right now. For the second lather, I'm using the Honey Oat Moisture Silk shampoo. And I'm using that one, but on the second lather because even though I'm not using heat, mostly I stick with the original collection if I'm not using any heat. But I always like to use at least one product from the Protein and Strengthening collection simply because it just helps keep the hair strong. It helps it to not break. It helps just to keep it nice, and it helps keep it moisturized also. So I use this just because I like it. But since I'm not using heat, it is acceptable to use the Extreme Moisture if I would have wanted to. And then for conditioning, I've already deep conditioned for the month. I've already did my reconstructive treatment for the month. So I just simply went with the replenishing conditioner. And the replenishing conditioner, it just needs to sit about 10 or 15 minutes. And I like to put this on generously and then comb it through from root all the way to the ends. Make sure you get the ends. And while I'm in the shower, I'm combing it through because once you put this on, it helps you to be able to comb through the hair much better even while it's wet. So I like to, number one, I like to comb it through just to make sure it's evenly distributed. But also, here's a pro tip. When I am rinsing, I also am combing this through while I'm rinsing. So as I'm rinsing my hair, in the shower, I'm combing it through while the water is running through. And let me tell you, that makes a huge difference for me. It helps me to be able to, it just makes it so soft, and it ensures that there is product all over the hair on every strand. So that's a little pro tip. Don't tell anybody else I told you that, okay? That's just between me and you, all right? Moving on along. At this point, now I just need to add leave-in. I'm going to be using the vanilla milk. And I know I said that I was only going to use one product from the Protein and Strengthening collection, but in all honesty, I cannot find my original collection leave-in conditioner. I think one of my sons has been using it. That just gives me another reason to use this. This is excellent for relaxed and colored hair. Okay, so it is also lightly infused with protein, a different protein that was in the shampoo. So I'm just going to comb that through generously. Well, I sprayed it generously, and then I'm going to comb it through. And you see how easy the comb is just gliding right through? That's what making sure the conditioner is on all of your hair does. And also the leave-in conditioner helps you to do this as well. And since I'm going to be doing Flexi rods today, against my better judgment, I don't know why I continue to do this to myself. Like, I know deep down I do not like curls, but I keep doing these curls. I'm doing this for you, okay? I'm doing this for you to show you how Flexi rods look. I own relaxed hair. You know, I'm sacrificing my own self. So I do like a deep side part. We can go a little bit deeper, just a teensy weensy bit deeper. All right, I think that's perfect. This is the size rollers I'm going to be using. Now, when it comes to rollers, You know, I just expressed my feelings for curls. So I do not want them extremely tight. Now, the size of the roller depends on the look that you want to go for. If you want it to be a very tight curl, almost looking like a 4C curl, but just more defined, then you want to use a very small roller, okay? And then you want to wrap it around very tightly so that when you take the rollers out, you'll come out with that curl pattern. I don't want that kind of look. I want more of a looser curl. I want it tight, but I want it loose, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want it to just be like a body wave. I want it to, I don't want it to be a wave. I want it to be more of a curl, but just on the looser side. I don't want it just extremely tight. Also, the tighter the curl, the shorter the hair is going to look. So I don't want it to look like I still have a bob, even though that would be cute. But I want it to be basically as long as my hair is now. I want it to look like that. Maybe just a teensy weensy bit shorter, but I don't want it all the way up to here. So if you use a very small roller, you're gonna look like you have much shorter hair. You know how natural hair looks when it shrinks? If you want that look, use the smallest roll possible and use just a little bit of hair on each roller and roll it very tightly. If you want the opposite look, like if you want something a little bit looser, you want to use the largest roller you can use, that your hair, but you still want your hair to wrap around it at least 3 to 4 times. All right, so you don't want to use a roller this big and your hair only wrap around it 1.5 times, because you're just going to end up with like a body wave. So this is the perfect size roller. I could have probably went up one more size, but this is a good size roller right here because I'm going to be using a little bit more hair on each roller, okay? And then you're gonna roll down the length of the roller instead of having like all the hair wrap around like up here. You want to elongate your hair, you know, so that curl can look a little longer, and you want to roll it down the length of the hair. I'm gonna show you, but I just wanted to explain what I'm doing first. I'm going to set the hair with the Whipped Honey Foam Wrap. And what this is going to do is this is going to help set the curl. It's also going to help my dryer time be decreased, and the curls are going to come out very fluffy. This does not harden. It does not have white flakes when you take it down. It does not have that residue feeling of product residue on it. This is my baby right here. I'm so glad I made this. So I'm going to saturate the hair with this and then get it rolled up. Also, when I am saturating the hair, I like to go section at a time. So I like to saturate the section that I'm working in, and then I'll move my hair, move around, because it really doesn't make sense to saturate this side. And this is going to be the last side that I roll, because I don't want the hair to start drying up on me. And then I'm just going to have to use more product. So I like to, work my way around, and I typically go in panels. Some people like to part horizontally, and then, roll that way. I kind of go in vertically. But when you're doing flexi rods or rods, sometimes it is easier to go horizontally. So it's just whatever you choose to do. All I recommend is whatever section you're working with at the time, put the foam wrap on that section, and then as you move on, saturate the next section. Make sense? I've already done the first one, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So you place the roller at like right here, very close to your head, and then I'm kind of pulling the hair tight, and then I'm wrapping down the length of the roller. Okay? See how I have space in between here, and the hair isn't just sitting on top of each other? That's what you want to do, because that's what's going to give you a longer curl, okay? Now, if you want to do a tighter curl and just let it fall throughout the week, you can do that. I don't plan on wearing this more than about 5-6 days. I'm going to be shampooing my hair again next week, so I want my length now. And then you just make it stay in place that way. And we have the first 2 done. So I'm going to, I think I am going to be using this size. This is just a size larger. I'm probably going to use this size just for the longer pieces in the back. But like right in here, I'm going to use the purple. I'm finished with the side. So, well, I'm finished with the back. So now I'm just going to finish up this little front part on the side. And I'm just saturating, like I said, as I go around. Okay. The back is always tricky because you cannot really see. Now I kind of want to look at the back to see what's going on back there. Okay. That looks fine. I guess that was just that one. That one that wanted to act up. It's always one. You know what I mean? One roller that just don't want to act right. So I'm just combing this all the way through because I want to completely saturate it. Okay, so you see how this piece is kind of longer? And my hair is layered, so that's why I put the smaller rollers in the top, because those are the shorter pieces, and I just kind of wanted these slightly larger rollers just on the bottom pieces, because those are the longer pieces. And again, you want your hair to wrap around at least 3 to 4 times. I think I got 3 good wraps around. I have this one last large one, and then I'm gonna have to see what I can do about the rest. I had one roller that broke on me. It just doesn't want to bend anymore. So let me see what I can find to finish this up, or else we're gonna have a problem. So be right back. Finished. I found one more large one and I put it in the top. We're gonna see how that works out. I found these little yellow ones. They're a little smaller than these. So we're gonna see how that works out. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and sit up under the dryer. I'm gonna sit for about an hour. So the thing about Flexi rods is they don't take as long as just like doing a regular roller set, simply because when you're wrapping the hair like around the roller, like you're elongating it, then you don't have all those layers that the heat needs to go through. So when you have just a regular roller that's like this and you're wrapping several layers of hair around, the dryer has to penetrate each layer for the hair to dry. It doesn't have to do that with Flexi rods. So the drying process doesn't take that long. So I'm gonna go sit up under the dryer, then we'll come back. I have been sitting under the dryer for about an hour and some change. So I'm just gonna test a few curls out just to see if they are dry. I mean, just feeling them, they feel dry. But you know, you never know. You just never know. So let's try one in the front. Oh, she's dry. Oh, look how juicy she is. Okay. I'm gonna just go ahead and try to take all the rollers out. And then if there's any dampness, I'll just get back under the dryer with the roller out. I think that's gonna be the plan. I'm really curious to see what these large ones are looking like. Oh, I like that. It almost makes me feel like I should have did the whole head with the larger ones, but I didn't have that many to go around anyway, so I think I did right. See what I mean by it kind of draws up a little bit, so that's why you don't want them. Well, you know, some of you may go for that look, that extra tight, you know, Jerry curl looking, just tight curl. Your girl would, that's not the vibe I'm doing right now. I was really concerned about the ones in the front because I had my head down. I was doing some things on my phone, but these are dry. So if these are dry, then the rest have to be dry. And again, the whipped honey foam wrap, it helps cut down on the dryer time also. Oh, look at that curl. Look at it. It's so juicy and it's so light. That whipped honey foam wrap, there's no crunchiness. There's no flaking. There's no residue. This curl feels soft. It might look okay, y'all. It might. You know, I'm still not a fan of curls, but we're going to make this work out. So, let me finish up removing these. They're just so soft and juicy. Okay. I'm going to finish and I'll be right back. Now all of the rollers are out. So I am going to add just a little bit of moisturizer on them. This is the Satin Moisture Cream. And the Satin Moisture Cream is just, like I said, going to add just a little bit of moisture. We love moisture. I'm just using just a little bitty bit. And I just want to put this all over. And you always want to make sure you get the ends of the hair because that part needs the most moisture. Yes, the roots are important, but the ends are more important. Now I'm just going to add some Silky Serum. And the Silky Serum, it's just going to help me avoid any frizz. You know how when it's curly, it can kind of get a little frizzy. So I'm going to be using this as I pull it apart. Oh, I did my makeup. And I did put a roller back right here and one in the back because they just were not completely dry and it was already starting to look frizzy. That's one thing when you're doing a set, your hair needs to be completely dry or else it'll start looking a little frizzy on you. And I like to separate the curls by basically turning one curl into like 5 or 6 extra curls. The more you separate it, the fuller it will look. And then I'm just separating them kind of the same way that I rolled it up. So I'm going section by section and panel by panel. I went and finished drying the last 2 or 3 rollers that I still had in there. And this, And so what I did was I sat under the dryer with most of it already, you know, styled. And then I just had, like I said, a few rollers here, and that helped the curls drop even more. So that's another pro tip. If the curls are ever too tight, you can just sit under the dryer for like a few minutes with it already curled, and it'll help them drop a little bit. Because what I didn't want is the curls to be up here. You know what I mean? So just because it's curled, it's still going to be shorter than your hair. So my hair still, you know, comes down about there. But this is great. I mean, it is what it is. You know it. But this is the finished look. I'm going to give you a 360 view of the back, side, and front. Now, if I wanted to bring some curls forward, I could, but I like them kind of off of my face. If you like them more in your face, when you roll it, you want to kind of roll it towards your face. I purposely rolled this one back so that the curls would, you know, be inclined to go that way. So you just have to roll it basically exactly how you want it styled. I knew I wanted this one to look like it was coming behind the ear, so I rolled these back, and then I rolled this side back this way. So I think I'm just going to put on some earrings, go head out, run a few errands, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. But before I go, I need to spray some Miracle Potion. The Miracle Potion just helps with shine, and it also helps you to avoid frizz, and it just makes your hair smell amazing. All right, so I always like to finish my hair off with that anytime I'm styling it. Just a few, 2 or 3 sprays. Hold your hand out so it can mist on your hair instead of holding it very close, and baby, you are good to go. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see y'all next time. Talk to you later. Bye bye.